I wanted to do this video because I recently went on a trip to Hershey Park in Pennsylvania, and it's a very nice amusement park. It's one of those places where it's very nice to go there, bring the family, and you're gonna have a good experience there regardless. Mainly what I'm doing this video on is the remodel of one section because since I had been there last, it's had a pretty major remodel, and a big part of the park has been essentially torn down and rebuilt from the ground up. And I'm not a fan of the remodel, like and when I went, I didn't have too many memories of Hershey Park because it's been such a long time since I've been there, and because of that, it actually didn't surprise me seeing this entrance there. I didn't even remember the old entrance, which looking back on it is actually kind of surprising because the old entrances are really beautiful. Like, look at that, man. That is a really nice looking entranceway. And I gotta say, I'm not a fan of the new renovation for it because they replaced this really beautiful entranceway here, like and they replaced it with this, which just to me it looks like every other entranceway to like a racetrack or like a stadium or something like that. Not only that, but they went really corporate with the logo and did that thing which every company seems to be doing now, where they're getting a flower-shaped logo and then putting their initials in the middle of it. And this logo is on every like trash can and all kinds of stuff and it looks very corporate. I'm not a fan of this logo at all. Um, I would have much rather there's actually a different version of it like right here, and I think that this was one of the ideas for it logo. I like this one way better. It's just more colorful, it's more exciting. The that's one of the main things I really dislike about this new entranceway is there's nothing exciting about it. It's actually kind of gloomy looking. Like, they decided to do the whole thing in brown except for this one thing here. They didn't even go with their original plan of making the sign all colorful. Like, I don't know what the thought it was behind building this, but it kind of failed to impress me. And not only that, but with the old entranceway, you had a lot of mature trees and things here. Like, you can see here, this is actually this is actually right here. Like, you walk through a bit, and this would be directly behind the viewer is that turnaround here. So these trees here are all gone. These buildings are gone. All of this is just completely gone. Um, and it was a very like I want to show you the comparison between that and this. And you have to keep in mind that when I was here, this didn't look all that different from the way it does in this picture. There was a couple small trees in here, and that's really it. And I think they were the type of trees that stay small, so I don't think they're planning on adding any more trees here. And so you've got this very beautiful shaded area with these winding paths and benches and landscaping, and you get rid of that and you have this very corporate looking like entranceway that again it just looks like every entrance to any state fair or any other place. There's nothing really all that interesting about it. Um, and One of the other positives of the old design was you had a lot of shade here. And I want to really drive this point home. There is no landscape. There is almost no landscaping here. There's almost no land. There's a square behind here that's even bigger than this that also has no landscaping in it and no trees. and it's all paved, so I doubt there's any plan to add trees in there. Maybe they'll add some more flowers and landscaping later, but it was another area that was just very, very plain, very gloomy. I didn't enjoy spending time there. Um, and I could tell nobody else enjoyed spending time there either because I noticed nobody was really staying in this area. I think this now it's this area right behind here. There's a big square behind here with with like no trees or landscaping. They put in some trees along here, which are London plane trees. And here's the thing with London plane trees: they take forever to grow. So this is going to be a good 30 years before these trees over here are mature. And at maturity, London plane trees don't provide a ton of shade. The leaves tend to be far apart and they let a lot more light through. Um, but there's not a lot of them. You got to keep in mind. And again, there's just no gardens, no landscaping back here. Um, and a lot of this stuff like these buildings at the front here, and I walked by them. I remember seeing them on the way in. They look very generic, very much like a modern shopping center looks keep in mind one of the like it would be a decent looking shopping center, but it just looks like a shopping center. It doesn't really look all it doesn't have that exciting like theme park look to it like anymore. Just very, very, very generic. And there's again another view of the old entrance. I love these buildings. I think these are really cool buildings, and it kind of made my stomach sink when I looked and saw the old entrance and how just beautiful it is, and just the fact that this is all gone now. It makes me sad. Not only that, but you had an area here that was oh, I was gonna say it was free to enter, but the new one, like these buildings at the front here, like this area is free to walk into. So it's not like it costs money to go in here now. It's very, very different from how it was. Um, and I'm trying to find some more pictures of it. Like it was really a nice looking thing. Like some more part pictures of like see how pretty this is. This is just really nice. I didn't take any pictures of it, unfortunately. Apparently the entrance is new enough that you don't like you don't actually see you don't actually see a ton of pictures of it. I just want to see what because there is this building right here, and I was wondering what this building was. I know it used to be part of a ride, and they must have taken the ride out because it's not like on there anymore. Tudor Castle entrance. This is all gone though. Like these buildings that this is gone. These buildings here are gone. Uh, this is still there though. On Skyride Station from 1970, was removed when the building was painted. Yeah, this building is still here. I don't know if they use the upper floor for anything. Um, and once you get past the old Tudor Square area, um, a lot of it is still essentially the same as it was, but it's been repainted. Like you don't see the same detail as much. Like this has all been painted. The wood here is all painted the same color as the wall now. Just not as interesting to look at personally, but not a major complaint. I've said, it's a very nice it's a very nice park. It hasn't like ruined the park or anything like that. I wish they'd done something more interesting with the other stuff. But they this is again they built this, which I've got nothing against this. It's better than some of the other stuff that would have it's better than a lot of the other stuff that was put in here, and it's not an ugly building. Um, but yeah. But I just want to show you. Um, like I am struggling, but here we go. This is a good picture of it. But see how this is all just paved, and you've got some trees here, but it's not like it was where with all the landscaping and stuff. It's very, it's you can see the style of the buildings on the right here, how it's like laid out. It's very much built in just typical sort of modern shopping center style buildings. Like this type of architecture you'll see in many American strip malls, and it looks very generic. Like there's nothing really all that sort of interesting about it. They moved the merry-go-round here, and the merry-go-round enclosure is again nothing interesting. Like I would have thought that you would have put a much more sort of like flamboyant, sort of colorful thing around it, but it's again like I've seen public park gazebos that this looks exactly like. It doesn't look any different than like anywhere else you could go. You're gonna find that like that's a lot of my criticism is it just looks very generic and just not exciting. um, I didn't even notice. I remember. Let's see. There was a thing with the lighthouse here. I didn't notice this lighthouse anywhere. I don't know if they moved this or not. I like the landscaping here with the bushes and the rocks and stuff, but I think that's all gone. Like I don't remember seeing it when I went there. Yeah, I don't know where that would have been. They said they preserved a portion of it, so it wasn't a thing where they it wasn't a thing where they so a lot of this would be gone because they said just a portion. They didn't say they were going to preserve the whole thing. Um, and like I think they really wanted to go with the chocolate theme here, of everything being kind of like a chocolate brown. But it just like when you make everything chocolate brown, I don't think it works very well. Like I think they really went too hard on the chocolate theme. I think it would have been better if they added a bit more color to it. Um, wonder if there's any. I wonder if there is. Yeah, I guess they have a wave pool. I didn't go to the water park section, so they might have some form of pool. But I don't know. Very generic looking architecture. Um, there's really not much else to say about it other than just the criticism of the new entranceway and stuff. Like the rest of it was really nice. I mean, they still have the Western themed area. They still have the I say they still have the German themed area, but the German themed area has kind of had a lot of the detail stripped from it. It's not quite as interesting as as it was before. And and the thing damn it. I'm kind of not the best at talking, as you can tell. Um and same with this stuff. This architecture to me just looks very generic. It's not ugly. It's and that's I really want to say that this is not ugly architecture. It's decent looking architecture. It's just for an amusement park you'd want something a little different, not something that looks like not something that's as widespread as that sort of architecture. I was just trying to see if I could get any other pictures. Like here's one of my main criticisms here is this building right here. Where I live, and I don't live far from Hershey, PA. This is a very, very common architecture in terms of modern buildings that they want to give a bit more character to and kind of make look a bit better, which again, not bad looking architecture, just I wouldn't put this on a theme park. This very much reminds me of the local minor league baseball stadium, the way this is sort of done. It's nothing really all that interesting. Huh. Oh, this is not in the same area. This zoo is really nice, by the way. There's a really good amount of animals, and unlike a lot of zoos I've been to, you can actually get to see a lot of them, like out and about. It's not like a thing where they're just where they're just kind of hidden away the whole time. But see what I mean with this merry-go-round structure? Look how plain and generic this building looks. It kind of does a disservice to the merry-go-round it's sheltering. Like I just don't know why this was why they thought that this would be a good, like, even the wall down here, this is just bare concrete. Like I don't know what the thought was behind building it like this. Like I would have done something much more elaborate with this. I think I think there's too much of a thing where people are where people want to try and simplify and streamline everything. And when you streamline stuff and just make it as plain as possible, people are less wanting to spend time in that area. And this is actually part of that square area I mentioned where people were not spending a lot of time here. And I think that's going to be a detriment to this section of the park over time. Like, I don't think it's going to be bad enough that they'll consider redoing it, but it's going to be one of those things where people are just going to walk by all this stuff. It's like you can kind of barely make out the merry-go-round underneath this building. It's I don't know, man. Just like I said, it reminds me of every stadium. And yeah, that's them demolishing it, I guess. They rebuilt this whole area though. This was completely leveled to ground level, and just they kind of they rebuilt the whole thing from scratch. This is where all that stuff was that I mentioned, like Tudor Square was in here. This over here was was a field. Back in the 70s, they had their pool. They had their pool here until the 70s, and I don't know why they ever got rid of the pool, to be honest. Like maybe they have another one in the water park. But you can see what I mean with how just like look how gloomy and depressing this is. Like you managed to make a theme park with you managed to make an area with a roller coaster going through it look so uninspired and uninteresting. It just it's so depressing. And it looked just like this when I walked through there. But look at the landscaping. There's no flowers or anything. This is this looks no different than when I went the other day. Like I walked by this flower bed and there was no flowers or anything in it. And it just it makes me so sad because there's such a lack of imagination put into this. It really is like an almost like corporate looking place. Like we're gonna find the architects with no inspiration to do this. There's literally there's public housing in my area that doesn't look all that different from this. And I'm not saying it looks bad. It's just for an amusement park, just man. But you can see what I mean about the landscaping. There's just nothing. Like the pavement goes right up to the building. I thought they stopped doing this years ago, where they just paved over the whole ground right up to the building, but they're that nope, they're still doing it. Another picture of it. Does this not look like every strip mall around you? Oh man, it reminds me so much of what they're doing with the local fast food restaurants where they're making every single one a shoebox. I don't know, man. This doesn't even look like the entrance to like a ride. This kind of looks like the entrance to like again like a stadium or like an office building or something. Like a better looking office building, but office building nonetheless. The rest of it isn't so bad, but there's a kind of fakeness to it. Like you look at the Tudor Square entrance here, and like there's a realness to this. Like it doesn't look cheap. Like this has a cheapness to it the way it looks, and I can't really figure out why. I think it's just because it's the same kind of American suburban architecture that you see everywhere in the US. Trying to find some other stuff to comment on. Yeah, like I said, this still looks the same. I'm trying to figure out like what direction I. Okay. This is the entranceway, but they hadn't built the structure over it yet. So that's gonna go in right here. I like these trams, by the way. These trams were neat. I like the kind of classical looking front. They had trolleys there too that look like this, which I really liked. Like I like that they did their buses like this, and I know a guy who's very much a pure like a purist when it comes to vehicles, and he's like, and he hates these because he doesn't like that they tried to make a bus look like an old fashioned trolley, but I like it. I think it's really attractive. I don't know. These sort of gardens I hate. I always hated these types of gardens where there's just pots in it randomly. Like somebody down the street from me has a garden bed like this, full of mulch, and it's just got potted plants in the entire thing. And I'm like, why would you design a garden like that? Like that? Because now you got to go water them with the hose, like every so often to make sure they don't dry out. But the like there was a lot of this, a lot of just concrete and these like office building, like public school, like railings here. I don't know. I wonder if it's just literally that people have no imagination anymore, and that's why they do design stuff like this. I wonder if they still do this. I can't say I've ever been there during Christmas. I've been to Hershey Lodge during Christmas, and that was kind of interesting. Like that was the first time I'd ever been there. My grandmother wanted to go there, and we knew she wasn't going to be around much longer, so we wanted to take her to some of these places. And yeah, it was all right. We saw a play there, and my parents had chocolate martinis. Ugh. I don't know, chocolate and alcohol to me is just disgusting. But alcohol and I just don't like alcohol in general, so I'm probably not gonna like whatever chocolate thing there is. I'm probably not gonna like it with chocolate also mixed in. Um, but anyway, I'm gonna end the video now because oh yeah, we found I don't know why there's something kind of horrific about the way these were designed. There was kind of like a thing about like the mint, like the bad guy mint versus like um Reese's cup person here. I don't know. It's another thing where I'm like, I kind of like the old designs a bit better. I don't know, these really weird me out. Well, not this one, more this one. I don't know. A friend of mine was complaining about how she's kind of drawn to be like really sexy for some reason, and I don't know, like, this is fine. I don't know why they just didn't keep that. But I'm gonna end the video now. You guys be good.